Electric Avenue. And then you take it higher. Electric Avenue. Electric Avenue.
We haven't actually done anything yet. Thank you very much. We just thought we'd show that to make sure you know you're in the right room. But please join me on stage, Steve. The one and only Steve Barron. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you all so much for coming as well. It's a real pleasure to have you all on board. And we're going to talk about Steve's work throughout the night, but you know, just a brief intro to say this is one of the greatest music video directors of all time, and you're going to cringe, and you can't go with it, So I'm going to stop gushing, and we'll just get on with it, because there's so many things to say, but he's multi-award winning, and his videos have really stood the test of time and are watched so much, and it's why I hope you've all come this evening. And to tell you just a little bit for the people that have come just for this event and don't know about Theatreship. So we're a theatre on a ship. You may have worked that out already. Not everyone does. Someone thought it was Theatre's Hip and gave us a 1-star review on Google. So you're the savvy ones. But this is a not-for-profit independent venue in Canary Wharf. And like, you coming to things like this is keeping us afloat. And I direct documentaries normally, and I run the film programming for here. And my name's Nat, hello. And I've got a friend in the audience who's a solicitor and owns his own record label. And all of us with all these jobs, all we ever wanted to do was be a music video director. So that's why it's so exciting to have Steve here. It's literally the first thing my friend said to me was like, I'm so excited.
Oh, thank you. Well, I just got lucky. I got in early as well, 45 years ago. And it was you could get that job somehow.
Well, let's get cracking. In fact, I'll just give the audience a bit of an idea what's going to happen. So we're going to talk through the videos. We're going to show a lot of videos. So music is going to be blaring. And this isn't like, you know, a kind of hushed Q&A at BAFTA or ICA. If you want to sing along, you sing along. You can dance if you want to. I also want you to be able to ask questions. You don't need to wait for the end and ask intelligent questions. You can ask whatever you like. If I don't see you, just give us a wave or go, "Oi, Steve," and then we'll know you want to ask something that I've missed in my questioning, which is probably going to happen. So, Steve, take us back to the beginning. Who's the first band you ever worked with on music videos?
The first one was the Jam, actually. Very early days.
Dropping it in there.
The Jam before they were the Jam. You know, when they were lower down in the charts, it was a number called Strange Town, a video called Strange Town, and I really got offered it by Paul Weller's dad, John Weller, who was the manager, and offered it because I made a video or a live video of them at Reading Rock Festival in 1976, and they were looking for somebody to do a promotional film. They hadn't done one yet. And Polydor said, look, we'll do a film. We've got a song called Down in the Tube Station at Midnight, which they sent over. And it's still one of my favourite songs ever. I think it's absolutely brilliant. But unfortunately, just 2 days before, they were saying, well, we've got a little budget for you. 2 days before it was time to do it, they said, we're going to switch track. The A&R department want to do Strange Town, and they don't want to do Down in the Tube Station at Midnight. So obviously the first shot I did was them coming out the tube station and then going in, and we did what ended up being a live video because it was raining. And in those days, because there was no concept
the joys
written
of
down,
filming here.
It was raining, so we said, oh, we'll just go in and just do the live part, and that was it. And that was the first one.
Yeah, so in terms of music videos, it wasn't groundbreaking, but to put you in that sphere and with a band that became a band of that caliber, it's pretty cool. Which that led to your first video with them that had a budget and became an actual music video, which is Underground, which is a song I'm sure you all know. Can you tell us a little bit about that video? Because I think it's a band just playing with a few shots added seems very simple and done a lot, but at the time it wasn't. So I thought the 80s imagery is quite, it feels so iconic now. But tell us about that video.
Well, it was. I mean, I was very naive. I was from the film world. I'd worked as a clapper loader. I was really young at that time. I was like 22 or something. So, but I'd been a clapper loader on movies, so I understood the world of filmmaking. But I didn't understand what the director really did. I didn't understand conceiving, conceptualizing, writing, that sort of thing. So, yeah, we got this budget, and there was suddenly, what do you want to do? And because we hadn't done anything on the other video, where we just filmed them playing live, it became, well, I'd walked into a number of studios as a clapper loader and been blown away by a white cyc, just a white wall, which goes around, which is like called an infinity wall. And so I said, well, we'll do it against white. That was the first concept. And met with Paul Weller, who is an amazing, I'm sure you know his work over many years, and he's done so many different variations on the Jam and Star Council and everything, but he's always kept this edge, political edge in a way. I mean, for a young man, what he said straight away was like, we should have a bit where we see all these prime ministers and then this hand just comes and whacks them all away. And I'm like, okay, we'll do that. And then he said, and just maybe a telephone in there, just a red telephone. And I was like, I didn't know what he meant, but he was like talking about the nuclear threat, in a way, but way ahead of my politics anyway.
Yeah, and this was 45 years ago. So this, what I was trying to say, which I didn't say clearly, was we often see musicians playing with that infinity wall, that white studio, but this was 45 years ago, and it's so interesting. The images are so clear now. As in they are iconic of the 80s. Anyway, Let Us Play. This has had, just so you know, 19 million views on YouTube. You all could have stayed at home and watched it on YouTube, guys. Yeah, treat us, Valentin, to Going Underground, the Jam.
Some people might say my life is in a rut. Quite happy. People might say that I should strive for more, but I'm so happy I can see the same things happening here today. A show of strength with your boys brigade, and I'm so happy and you're so kind. You want more money, of course I don't mind. My nuclear test was for atomic crimes, and the public gets what the public wants. But I want nothing to society's done. I'm going underground, well, if the brass bands play up, start to pound, going underground. Well, if the boys all sing, or if the boys all shout for tomorrow. Some people might get some pleasure out to hate me. I've enough already on my plate. People might need some tension to relax me. I'm too busy dodging between the facts. You see, here's what you get. You made your bed, you better lie in it. You choose your leaders and place your trust. Their lies wash you down and their promises lost. Using killing machines with paper, rockets and guns. And the public wants what the public gets. But I don't get what the society wants. I'm going underground. All of the brass bands play off, we start to pound. Going underground. So let the boys all sing, or let the boys all shout for tomorrow. La 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 la. La 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 la. We're talking till my head explodes. I turn on the news and my body floats. Spraying sheep on my TV screen. But this boy shout, but this boy scream. Going underground. Going underground. Going underground. I'm going underground.
Yes, thank you very much. Ah, it's such a good one. I have to say, Daisy is in the audience who works with us. She works in comms and communication and had a really big job somewhere else and then came and joined us just before this. And I thought, oh, she's really been helpful. She was like, I'll interview this about this. I'll write an article. It's because she absolutely loves that song and that video and was super excited. So that we played that one for you, Daisy.
Well, that quickly, that went to #1. It's changed my life a bit because it was suddenly we weren't doing a little obscure video, even if the Jam videos from 3 months earlier, they had a following, but it was more the mods didn't know whether they were allowed to. They could see that they liked this band. The Skins weren't sure, and then suddenly this came out, and then it went straight to #1, and because everybody loved it, and the youth got behind them, and they didn't look back.
I love that. And so that was 1980, and as you said, you were a young man, and for the first time working out music video concepts. And then by 1981, you'd made Human League's Don't You Want Me Baby, inspired by film noir. So that is a real progression. Let's talk a bit about that before you all know the song Don't You Want Me Baby, surely. Great song. So can you talk about the inspiration for that video? I love this one.
Yeah, it was, I just luckily one night stayed up quite late and watched an obscure French film. Well, it wasn't obscure, but it was Truffaut, Day for Night, L'American Nuit, and fell in love with Jacqueline Bisset for a start. It was amazing, and it stuck in my mind, and I felt when Human League came along with Don't You Want Me that it could be. What I liked about the film in particular was the film within a film, and what I was learning at this point, a year into directing videos, and I'd done a few before that, Adam and the Ants, Ant Music, and learnt how to get concepts across. And in this case, it was really a film within a film, and I thought I started laying out my philosophy, which was this time it was to push things and go further than try and go one step more. And that's what I learned from the first 20 I'd done, and so I made it at the very end of this. You'll see it's a film within a film within a film, because it's a cutting room. And then you see the crew that filmed the part in the cut. Anyway, it was convoluted, but
convoluted, but really good. I also love the fact that, which we'll show the video in a minute, your sister, who worked with you at Limelight Productions, the music video company, was also an extra in this. You'll have to point her out to everyone when she's on screen. And your her daughter told me that on the next video, some of the crew were like, God, there's that gobby extra again, bossing everyone around. They didn't realise she was actually the producer. It was just so funny.
She was amazing. She's still around. She was going to try and come tonight, but didn't quite make it. And but yeah, she when there was holes to fill, and there was a moment in this film where we wanted to track along with the female singer, working as a waitress in a cocktail bar, and we wanted to do that piece, and she just said, look, I'll just come in and with a cup of tea, and give her a cup of tea, and give someone a cup of tea behind her, and then it'll give the center of it. Great little improvised little moment. Also, we were doing this tracking shot with her, and it didn't look right. It didn't look stylish enough, and my sister is very stylish, and she had a coat on, and she took the coat off. So I've got another coat. Wear this one. And she put this coat on that then actually became, for the next year, an iconic buy in fashion. And so you say,
incredible. So this is the 1981 Human League Don't You Want Me Baby, which has just the one video of this has 231 million views. Incredible. Thank you.
You were working as a waitress
waitress in a cocktail bar. When I met you, I picked you out, I shook you up and turned you around, turned you into someone new. Now 5 years later on, you've got the world at your feet. Success has been so easy for you. But don't forget it's me who put you where you are now, and I can put you back down too. Don't you want me? You know I can't believe it when I hear that you won't see me. Don't you want me? You know I don't believe you when you say that you don't need me. It's much too late to find. You think you change your mind? You'd better change it back or we will both be sorry. Don't you want me, baby? Don't you want me? Oh, don't you want me, baby? Don't you want me? Oh.
I was working as a waitress in
That's
a
the code.
cocktail bar. That much is true. But even then I knew I'd find a much better place, either with or without you. The 5 years we've had have been such good times. I still love you. But now I think it's time I live my life on my own. I guess it's just what I must do.
Don't you want me? You know I can't believe it when I hear that you won't see me. Don't you want me? You know I don't believe you when you say that you don't need me. It's much too late to find. You think you've changed your mind? You better change it back or we will both be sorry. Don't you want me, baby? Don't you want me? Oh. Don't you want me, baby? Don't you want me? Oh. Don't you want me, baby? Don't you want me? Oh. Don't you want me, baby? Don't you want me?
Woo! Yes. I literally kept wanting to say, that's so good, it's so good. And then I thought, my mic's still on, I can't. Is that loud enough for everyone? Is everyone enjoying this volume of
Am I in the
music?
way here as well? I feel like I'm blocking the screen.
Oh, that's such a banger. That was at #1 for weeks. That was Christmas #1 in 1981 as well. And we'll talk about it a bit more for other songs, but it's a mix. I really now have become to realise that it is a mix of the song and the video for these hits that got them to #1. And I've only just realised that, which we'll talk about more. But we'll stick with Human League for now, which I think it's really lovely that when you've built relationships with some of the bands and continued to work with them, but then done completely different things, which often, I don't want to knock certain directors, but certain directors get to a certain style and they stick with it. And you really can't say that about your work. Your next video for Human League is so different. So this is 1983, a video for Fascination. So how did you get the idea for this next video for Human League?
Yeah, I was looking for something different. I mean, having done that riff on French cinema, I don't think we could have stayed in that territory. And anyway, the song said different things. I think whenever I came up with a concept, it was something in the song, the atmosphere of it, not necessarily the lyrics most of the time, but the atmosphere of it gave an image. And I at the time I'd been in the subway a bit, and I was fascinated by that "You Are Here" poster. I always thought it was a great title for a book or a film or something, but that poster with a big black arrow and a big red circle around the bit you were where you were. So I thought I'll do something where we paint the houses and a big circle and around the street, and do a high shot. And in those days, no drones, helicopter. Do a helicopter shot and look down at this and try and make it marry with this "You Are Here" poster. And so we got permission from the council, found a great street in Peckham, and got permission to paint it red on condition that this was what we'd said it was, which was vegetable paint that would come off, no problem. Afterwards, we'd get rid of it, no problem. Yes, of course, we're going to do that. And we painted it and did all that and shot it. And the art department went back the following day to clean it all up, and it wouldn't come off. So and it was on the street. So I got this call from the council. Mr. Barron, yes, you've painted the street red, and your signature with us was that you were going to get rid of it. And I was like, I'm sorry, we'll get rid of it. Don't worry about it. So from then on, not taking any calls from the Peckham Borough Council, I finally got a letter from them saying, from this day forth, you are banned from Peckham. And never so official council letter. So I've been back there once, and I kept my head down, and it's been a bit scary. But
This is like, the sacrifices creatives make for their work. You're banned from a whole area of London. No, it's fantastic, and it's just so fitting for the video and so funny. Because I was saying to Steve earlier that I think you'll notice this in the work. There's incredibly high production values, and there's really ambitious thought and some real, conceptual layers to it. And then it's also sometimes really funny. Some of Steve's videos are really funny, and I just love this bit of this one because they're such a kind of glossy band. Having them have this beginning, I just think is really cheeky and really fun. But for those that don't remember this video, in fact, someone here tonight, I think they're running a bit late because they also work in film, remembered this as the Grey video. And I went, you don't remember the outside of the house. So hopefully they've got here in time to see this. But yes, this is Human League Fascination.
Conversation turned until the sun went down, and many fantasies were learned on that day. Keep feeling fascination, passion burning, love so strong. Keep feeling fascination, looking, learning, moving on. Well, the truth may need some rearranging. Stories to be told. I'm plain to see the facts are changing. No meaning left to hold. And so the conversation turned until the sun went down, and many fantasies were learned. Keep feeling fascination, passion burning, love so strong. Keep feeling fascination, looking, learning, moving on. conversation turned until the sun went down, and many fantasies were learned on that day.
Keep feeling fascination, passion burning, love so strong. Keep feeling fascination, looking, learning, moving on. Keep feeling fascination, passion burning, love so strong. Keep feeling fascination, looking, learning, moving on. Keep feeling fascination, passion burning, love so strong. Keep feeling fascination, looking, learning.
Amazing. Come on. Incredible. I'm going to say it. I think that was worth the ban. That's
Yeah,
so good.
Although I might risk it back there. I hear it's quite nice now. Okay. It wasn't then.
Very trendy. And everyone who's been on shoots knows they're grueling, particularly music video ones. They really look like they're having fun. It's so great.
Yeah.
Well, you made it look like that. Don't say anymore. But
Well, Phil Oakey, who's lovely in a lot of ways, but didn't want to be a pop star. In fact, Siobhan, my sister, dragged him off the bus on Don't You Want Me because he was like, I don't want to be a pop star. He was up the lunch bus and they couldn't get him out. And we were ready for his shot. And he was like, eventually she persuaded him back down and in. But he didn't like all the publicity for a minute.
well, you did a great job with it. And so this video was made a couple of years in to your career. And I wanted to ask, when did you start realizing, you know, I think I'm going to stick with this and do this for a living?
Well, at that time, yeah, it was a living because we were shooting 1 or 2 videos a week, and yeah, there was an industry developing. I mean, it was a promotional film world where the record companies weren't totally believing that they worked and that they're worth the money, and in fact, we've really fought very hard to shoot that Don't You Want Me on 35mm. It was the first music video that ever got shot on 35mm. They're all 16, it's cheaper, but the 35mm gave it that cinematic look, the Truffaut, which I was after, was the Truffaut look.
Yeah, it's so good.
So I suppose it might have been that year, really.
Because I'm going to reveal a bit from the book at this point, because we're here to talk about this as well. And I don't want to spoil it, but Steve nearly had a career in Scotch eggs, which were delicious by all accounts. But
It's a long story.
yeah, so this is a book that Steve has written, and it's very different to this evening, which is obviously I'm completely fangirling on Steve's work, and I want you to see all the videos and enjoy it. But this is really a beautifully written memoir about his life, and I've said I feel like I've got inside your mind with this because of the way it's written. No, but in a really good way, as in it's when you're in panic or excitement, it feels like it's like gushing. It's really wonderful. And we've asked a close colleague of Steve's, who's an incredibly successful award-winning director in his own right, but tonight he's just reading for us. Danny, come join us, please. Danny Kleinman, thank you very much. It's just going to read a little bit from the book.
Me and Danny go back a long way, and thanks for coming, Daniel. And he's all the plaudits and lovely things that are being said now. He'll step all over it and put it back, even it up, even it up. He was the best man at my wedding, and gave one of the best speeches that everybody loved except me. It was about me.
I was trying to be kind. Hello. So this is from Steve's book. So I'm the voice of Steve, effectively. I'm doing loads of videos and working my bollocks off. And Limelight has become the biggest music video company in the world, and it feels like the world is changing. Changing its rhythm, changing its attention span. The edits are getting quicker. We are getting quicker. We're getting it quicker. There it is. got it. Next. For better or worse, we need more, faster. In the late 70s, punk gave us all a kick up the arse, and now we're up and running. And seeing how fast we can run. Here's another track. Here's another blank page. What does this track mean? What does it matter what it means? Take a bit of inspiration from the lyrics. Add a pinch of surreal thought or two. Sprinkle a technique on top. Very tasty. Along the way, some meals might turn out not so delicious. Some of them might even give you a bad stomach or put you off eating for a while. And some of them, I might just have misread the recipe. Often the track arrives from the record company in a jiffy bag. No artwork, no lyrics, no brief, just what do you want to do with that? The freedom in that can be inspiring and liberating, leading to nuggets of innovation, or it can be a recipe for disaster. I gave Rod Stewart a whole concept set in France because I thought he sang, "Come with me to the Eiffel Tower." No, you twat, it's "Come bathe me in an ice cream shower," or something like that. It was wrong anyway. I was relegated to making Baby Jane with my little black book of ideas. That one turned into a mishmash failure. I also struggled for a while with a song that Robert Plant wanted to do a video for. Very laid back. Guitar sound, long but classic. Could have been very cinematic. Just needed to find the concept. So, what does the big log mean? I'm pacing about, asking myself. I know what it means in Canada, Vicky offers. That's his wife at the time. Yeah? Yeah, it means a big crap. A great, big, long, satisfying session in the crapper. Really? He can't mean that. He wouldn't be singing about a long, satisfying shit. No way. He's not from Canada, is he? Vicky shrugs. I'm meeting Robert Plant, formerly of Led Zeppelin, to tell him the concept for his big log video in the morning. It's going to be a long night. We meet at a rehearsal venue in London. He wants us to play the song before I tell him the concept. Can't believe there isn't a spare cassette player in the music studio. Never mind, we can play it in the manager's car in the car park outside. A very plush Audi-type saloon with a full-on sound system, Natch. Wow, the track sounds good this loud. Robert's guitar is twanging through into the atmosphere like there's no tomorrow. He's in the front passenger seat. His manager's in the driving seat. I'm on the back seat. I can't help it. Doubts are flooding into my head now. The car seems to shrink as the song plays. The music seems to become more important, less frivolous, more classic. The doors of the car seem to be growing thicker, wider, reinforced, more claustrophobic, like there's no escape. I'm just about to pitch the writer of Stairway to Heaven a toilet concept. The music fades, they turn to me, I'm on. So, with the state of MTV now, the videos have to really deliver something exceptional. Robert Plant nods. His manager is staring right through me. You have to be different, I think. I've got their full attention. You have to be brave, to stick out from the crowd. Here we go. I see this being shot on location in a hot country, perhaps Spain. Okay, I see a long, narrow, beautiful, white-walled Spanish toilet. Just keep going. Sunlight is pouring through a small, high window above the cistern. Bright sunlight, the kind you have to squint your eyes at. With the white walls, it makes the whole thing very high key, very bleached out. That's fairly convincing, I'm pleased with that. You, Robert, are at the end of the narrow Spanish toilet, sitting on the seat. We don't see anything untoward because you're wearing a white shirt which hangs down around your legs, but your jeans are around your ankles. It's the big log. No one has ever seen anything like it on MTV. This is where you perform the song from. This stunning, extraordinary toilet. Sinking feeling. It's really unlike anything anyone has seen yet. Not tacky, it has cinematic beauty. I'm keeping in touch with a few artists on my journey through music videos in the 80s. Robert Plant isn't one of them.
Thank you. Thank you, Danny. Perfect. Yeah, the highs and the lows. Where we lost Robert Plant, we gained Michael Jackson, just saying, and Fleetwood Mac. So I think you did all right. Should we talk a bit about Fleetwood Mac?
Yeah, if we have to.
I'm actually we'll save, I wanted to play Eddie Grant video, which makes Steve cringe, but I might save that for highlights at the end so we can all have an interval and a drink. But I don't want to miss out Fleetwood Mac, because I think it's a band everyone knows. And but you were working with them in 1982 when they weren't getting on. And yeah, tell me about the concept of this video.
I mean, I love Fleetwood Mac, and tons of their songs have been brilliant. This album was they went through a bad patch. There was splits. I can't remember. McVie's split up. John McVie and Christine McVie split up. They weren't talking to each other really, and I don't know why. I just thought when I heard the song, I thought, well, let's go in the desert, and we're in LA, and about 100 miles down the road is the desert, and we'll go and film there. And we'll have to obviously wrap by 5:30 because we won't light the desert or anything. And we got there, and I was struggling for a concept, and I used to have a little black book of ideas, and in the black book of ideas, in case I couldn't think of one, and we had to shoot it like the big log. The idea was Marguerite, was based on the sort of Marguerite style, and we got there, and basically the first thing that happened was they were unloading, and we wanted a big mirror that one of them was reflected in, came off the truck, broke in pieces. So I was like, oh no, and just desperate to get things rolling and to start. I said, well, stick them in the sand, stick the bits in the sand, and so all the broken bits went into the sand, and there was kind of, it worked. It sort of worked as a semi-rescue.
It worked.
And then Christine McVie started makeup at 7 o'clock in the morning. She was ready by 4 in the afternoon because she was not happy with this, not happy with that, didn't want to hear about this and that and everything. So we actually ended up shooting all 6 of them. I think there were 6 at the time. All 6 of them in separate setups in the desert and just cutting it together. And it's not my favourite video by a long way.
I love that. Steve's like, oh, what are you showing all these for? But what I think this shows, number one, we all love Fleetwood Mac. So the fact that you work with Fleetwood Mac, but then also the harsh realities sometimes of working with other artists and how challenging that can be, but turning it into a positive. So as you'll see, you're not going to spot that's a broken mirror. I had no idea. And I think sometimes when you do these things and turn them into a positive, it then becomes another creative outlet, which I think probably ends up better than it being a full mirror.
Do we have to play the whole thing?
Yeah. Okay, well, you can tell Valentin.
I mean,
just cut it whenever you want.
It's not my favourite. Obviously, we could watch the whole
Give
thing.
it. Just give a little bit then.
Yeah,
just
but
everyone's got to see the mirror now.
It runs out of ideas and it just repeats. So halfway through,
Someone
I think
heckled
you're
then.
fine.
What was the heckle? Yeah, there we go. We welcome heckling. Yes, we welcome questions and heckling. Come on, Valentin, give us a bit of this one.
Can you understand me? Baby, don't you hand me a line.
There's the mirrors.
Although it doesn't matter, you and me got plenty of time. There's nobody in the future, so baby, let me hand you my love. Oh, let's
one. Thank you. So the audience think it's good. Yay! Come on.
The album is actually a really good one because it's got Gypsy and
Well, how wrong am I?
it's a great middle album between Tusk and Tango and the Night Sun.
See, we've got a super fan here. I love it.
There we go.
So, yeah, the main thing, I think you did really well there. Like, obviously, we gave some context, but without that, you wouldn't have no clue that they'd been separated or you were struggling with time or that was just a broken mirror off a van. And, you know, I don't think you got 7 years of bad luck. I really don't think you did. But it was that year, I don't know if that, yeah, the next year, you were working with Michael Jackson. Pretty big deal. And Billie Jean. Should we show it first, or do you want to tell us a little bit about it before we treat the gang?
I suppose we could talk a little bit about it. Have you seen the video? Yeah, a lot.
Along with the 2.5 billion people that have seen it. They have,
you one
Steve,
of them?
yes.
Yeah, that came along because Michael saw Don't You Want Me? And he was going to do the video for Billie Jean, and it was he felt it was the most cinematic thing he'd seen, and he wanted a bit of cinema. He wanted you know, he was his manager said he was into Peter Pan, and that was the sort of vibe he wanted. And so, yeah, we actually, Danny, you did the storyboards, didn't you? You drew the storyboards for it and helped with the concept, which is the Midas touch and everything lighting up. And we
I don't
he's
believe
too
it.
nice. So we wanted everything to light up all around, and meeting Michael was great. He was like a really sweet. He was 21, I think, at the time, and he just was curious about everything. He wanted to know how this worked, how that worked, and we had some paintings of part of the set were matte paintings in the old-fashioned way, and he was fascinated by all that, and we did. Sorry, is that a hand up? Okay.
Oh, actually, well, what we should do, Steve, because you're telling such great stories, is get some of the rushes up. But I was because this is the first ever that Steve's got the original rushes from the video, so it's footage that no one has ever seen before of Michael Jackson. So it's pretty cool. I didn't advertise it as that because I didn't want loads of Wacko Jacko fans here. So I wanted Steve fans only. But I'm sorry, please carry on what you were saying, Steve. We're just going to have these on in the background so you just get an idea of the behind the scenes.
Yeah, so basically the idea, like everything lighting up, and what I'd asked for the art department was that we'd have sort of pressure pads. He could do a dance because his manager had said, look, he's might do a dance and he's practicing in front of the mirror. He's not sure. And leave a chorus or two for him. So I left the chorus in the concept. We just had, this is the bit where you die. We didn't know what the dance was going to be or how it was all going to feed in with everything. But he liked the concept of of everything, the Midas touch and everything lighting up. So we shot all those bits and pieces during the day, and came to do the actual walk down the street with the dance, with whatever the dance was going to be. And so just before that, the production designer said, look, I'm really sorry, we don't have stones that light up through pressure. There's an electrician round up there with a cheese sandwich who's going to switch him on, and when he walks, it's going to come on. But they were, and I'm sorry, they don't all light up. There's only 11 stones that light up. I'm like, I can't believe I've got to now go and tell Michael, who's got something in his mind. And anyway, I walked him through it, and I said, look, I'm really sorry, Michael, but this one works, and those two, and that one doesn't, and there's 3 here that don't go at all. And he's like, and I said, well, shall we probably rehearse it a few times? He said, no, let's film it, let's do it. And in those days, I was coming from the camera department, I used to operate as well. So I put the camera on my shoulder, and we played the track, and that beat came in, and he just stood there for a while and waited for the chorus, and then he just leapt into this thing that it's hard to explain, but we had not seen anything like it ever. Nobody had moved like that in anything, any dance we'd seen in popular culture anyway. And it was absolutely stunning, to the point where the eyepiece steamed up. I was overheating on it, I could hardly see him through it. I had to wipe it to stay in touch with him. And what he cleverly did, which I didn't think of at the time, but what he really cleverly did was bring a concept to his dance, which was trepidation, which was about what was going to work, what wasn't going to work, how it was.
As in which bit of the floor lit up. This is what's so funny about it. That again, it's like something going wrong. It's like, does this work? It's like trying to tap the floor. And there was a keen question somewhere.
Yeah.
Hello. Did everyone hear that? Okay.
So Louisa on the big billboard. Well, it came from we cut it in London in Covent Garden at this edit facility, and we went through the night, 2 nights. Actually, Michael came and sat in the back in the couch and watched everything come together, and was quite curious about when we split the frame into 3. I don't remember the video, but there were sections of it. He thought we were looking at a choice between which one to use, and it was like kind of no. The concept is all about these graphics that you're on the frame, you're on the shoot on the video in 3 different spaces there, and there was an editor that we used, David Yardley at the time, and he had a girlfriend called Louisa. And he said, "Can I call?" I said, "Let's make a poster. We knew we had a poster because we had it in the concept. But I said, "Let's try and make it a makeup ad," and so he put that Louisa on there. That's where that came from.
There you go. Look at that insider information. Should we treat everyone to a bit of Billie Jean? Let's do this. Woo! Steve didn't even realise this. 1.9 billion people have watched one version of that on YouTube, which means more than 1 in 4 people in the world have seen your music video. It's pretty cool. We're going to go to the interval in a minute, but in the interest of time, I just want to quickly fit in Madonna, because we all want to drink and a chill. But Danny, would you please join us and read a bit in the book? Because obviously we all know Madonna's a big artist now, but if you imagine for Steve and Danny and his company, they're making so many music videos and they're meeting all these young artists. And obviously there is a time before they were famous and how challenging that must have been. So this is about Steve meeting Madonna. I'm going to play the TV exec. I forgot I was doing that, so I've got to get to the bit of the book now.
Page 37.
That's very helpful, Danny, because I had forgotten. Oh, I'm ready.
Okey-dokey.
Let's go.
There's a kind of noise that seems to only appear when you do something that gets a lot of attention. When something gets out there and suddenly you're being lauded and listened to. Maybe it's just me. It's like that fuzzy white noise you get all the time on the telly in the 80s. It usually means something's not right or unplugged. And that noisy fog of well done merges with the mist of expectation. That's when I run into the corner and hide. Maybe it's just me. I'm on holiday, Simon.
It's only an hour to New York. There's flights every hour.
I'm on holiday with the family.
Oh, you're with the in-laws, and it's only an hour away. You can come here and be back in no time.
He's right. I'm with the in-laws, the wife and the newborn. Middle named after Dexys. We're in Toronto. Not had a lot of sleep lately. Got really good at changing nappies. But I don't like the track. I really don't like the track. Warners think she's going to be massive. I can't see why. Madonna? You better be really good at what you do with a name like that or you're fucked. And this song just isn't up my strasser in the slightest. I'm burning up for your love, burning up for your love.
That's the title.
What, does anyone think that's going to be massive? Why? Certainly not me. Mind you, I'm not exactly the greatest judge of what's going to number one, am I? But still, I have to come up with a concept. I have to have an idea that feels right with the track, and it would have to be a cool idea. And if I don't think the track is cool, how can I come up with an idea that's cool with the track? It's not my sort of music. I've still got They Smelt of Pubs and Wormwood Scrubs and Too Many Right-Wing Meetings humming around in my brain. The Jam is where my head is still at. This Madonna will never be in the same stratosphere as the Jam.
I love it. And I think we'll actually keep this a mystery for the book, because I do really want those that, you know, feel they've got the pennies to spare to get this, and Steve will sign it for you. But I'm just going to spoil it. He almost killed Madonna on that music video. So we'll head to an interval where you can pester Steve, have a drink, and join us in part 2 for when we really take on Steve with a-ha's Take On Me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right, have we got everyone in that wants to come in? Saskia, shut that door. Shut that door. Lovely. Can I just say a massive thanks to everyone that's just been so lovely in the interval, feeding back to me and Steve. Because I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit blinded by the light. So I can't always tell what the audience is thinking. So it's just really joyous to speak to you all. And it, we're loving it.
Yeah, we love Nat, don't we? I mean, look.
Thank you, Steve.
This is all her doing.
Well, I'm a massive fan. But yeah, I don't want your love though. I want your Google reviews. That's what I want. Okay, so please get yourselves on Google, because it's normally only really annoying people that want to give 1 star. Like, honestly, the Theatre's Hip guy gave us a 1 fucking star review because he couldn't find Theatre's Hip. So just please give us a decent review. Right, without further ado, it's part 2. It's now 1985. The world is changing. I've just nicked a line from your book without knowing I just said that. In 1985, Money for Nothing by Dire Straits and Take On Me by a-ha were directed by Steve, and we'll go on to talk about them. It's just won every award you could possibly get for them. It's absolutely incredible, and I can't wait to dissect these. But let us start with Dire Straits and Money for Nothing. So is everyone aware of this video? So this is a video with lots of computer-generated graphics. And it was the first ever song to play on MTV, is that right?
Oh, MTV Europe, yeah. Yeah, that was the first one.
Pretty big deal.
Yeah, it was it was a bit of technology that I was often editing in a place called Rush's in Soho, and I'd walk past the doors and look inside, and people were just editing footage like we were. And I walked past this one door, and there was this guy making these blocks for logos, for big corporate logos, but they were CGI, and when I hadn't seen CGI, and it had this wonderful feeling to it, because it was like you were filming it live. You put the lens on your point of view, you put the lighting in a certain direction. And I went in, his name was Ian Pearson, the guy who was doing it, and he was from Newcastle, and he said, he said, you know, you should do one of your videos. I said, well, could you make characters? Could we make, what could you make out of it? He said, I couldn't do anything. I can do whatever you like. And so I went to, the record company came along and said, look, we got Martin Offler. He's written this song for Money for Nothing, and we'll send it to you. I actually, you know, I was terrible at A&R, and it was another song that I didn't think was going to do that well.
That's artists and relations for those that don't know.
Yeah. The record company said, look, Martin Offler hates music videos, and you know that I didn't realise it meant also hated music video directors. Anybody that was telling, anybody that wasn't just letting him on stage, filming him just with his guitar and with his band and real, and none of this conceptual stuff. and they said, look, we think this song's going to be massive. MTV are nuts about it naturally, but they need a really conceptual video for it. And he will you go and talk to him? And so he was in Hungary, he was in Budapest on tour, and they were about to play a live gig. And I looked at, I'd just seen these cubes, and I thought, wow, it's about MTV. Then the concept could be coming from the TV, from the pixels of the CGI, and that could be what these characters are made of and why they're made of it, because they are part of it. And the irony sort of was what I was getting into. And so they said, well, go and meet Mark, and if you want to shoot a bit of him, there's a sound check you can shoot. And I said, okay, well, let's shoot him live so he's comfortable, and then tell him the concept. And I went out for dinner with him that night after we'd shot the live part. And he was not, looking at me out of the corner of his eye, not really wanting to be there, but he had a girlfriend who was with him. And we ate Hungarian dumplings or whatever we did. And I said, look, and I knew it was time to pitch and to get this across. And I was like, so Mark, I just feel that MTV needs a good shake-up. There's no one's seen anything you're singing about. I want my MTV as the opening of it. I think if we could do these blocks, I can't show you anything, but they're like blocks that could create these characters, and we could use these machines that are really these new digital machines that do colorization and things. And he was looking at me completely blank, and it was like another one of them. This I'm not going to get out of here. It's like that with the concept. And his girlfriend said, she was American, she said, you're absolutely right, there's nothing like this on TV. And he didn't say yes or no. So because he didn't say yes or no, I just carried on, got back to England, just carried on building these blocks and these characters with Ian. And it was very early days of CGI, so it was way before. In fact, Pixar, Lasseter once said that this was a big influence on his reason for forming Pixar, which I love. That I didn't hear it directly from him, but it felt good.
That's incredible. I hope someone's recording this. Oh, we're recording it, actually. I forgot to say that. We're recording it. Okay. So to give some context, obviously we live in an age of AI now, and everything's so wonderfully created in CGI, we can't work out what's real. But I'm going to take us back to 1985 before I show this video, and I'm going to show you some of the games on computers at the time. So I had a ZX Spectrum myself. So give us a bit of that, Valentin, please. So this is just to get you into the graphics. So this was state-of-the-art graphics for the time. This was the leading console, and as you can see, it's high stakes. High stakes graphics. And honestly, did you have a ZX Spectrum at your house? I loved having a ZX Spectrum. I was like, this is where we're at.
Can we get one, you mean?
No, as in the 1980s, did you have a computer at home like this?
No, the tennis we had.
Oh yeah, dung, dung, dung.
That was it.
So yeah, but I just wanted people, this is like major games developers of the times. This was the best they could do, is what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm just trying to put it in context for quite how good this video is. But anyway, for everyone, let's have it nice and loud, because this is such a good song. Money for Nothing, Dire Straits.
the way you do it. You play the guitar on the MTV. That ain't working, that's the way you do it. Money for nothing and your chicks for free. Now that ain't That's the way you do it. Let me tell you, damn guys ain't dumb. Maybe get a blister on your little finger. Maybe get a blister on your thumb. We got to install microwave ovens, custom kitchen deliveries. We got to move these refrigerators. We got to move these color TVs. To the little faggot with the earring and the makeup. Yeah, buddy, that's his own hair. The little faggot got his own jet airplane. The little faggot, he's a millionaire. We got to install microwave oven, custom kitchen deliveries. We got to move these refrigerators. We got to move these color TVs. Move on, move on. Mama, she got it sticking in the cameraman. We could have some. And he's up there. What's that? Hawaiian noises. He's banging on the bongos like a chimpanzee. Oh, that ain't working. That's the way you do it. Get your money for nothing. Get your chicks for free. We got to install microwave oven, custom kitchen deliveries. We got to move these refrigerators. We got to move these color TVs. Listen here. Now, that ain't working. That's the way you do it. You play the guitar on the MTV. That ain't working. That's the way you do it. Money for nothing and your chicks for free. Money for nothing. And the chicks for free. What's that? For nothing. And the chicks for free. Look at that. Look at that. Money for nothing. And the chicks for free.
Come on. Come on, it's so good, isn't it? It's bloody brilliant, that. When Daisy was, we couldn't get hold of Steve, so they interviewed me instead for the promo, which was really funny. We did just a little clip for to go on the internet. And they asked me to describe you in 3 words. And I nicked one of the lead singer of a-ha's saying you're fearless. And it's so true, because we're all just watching and enjoying that. You would have had no idea if that would have worked fully, because it hadn't happened before when you made that. That's incredible.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, it was. That was the 80s. I think I was so lucky at the timing, because it was quite a naive decade. Although it was so progressive and so a new wave, everything was coming through, and yet, I was, lucky that it was the right time, right place.
I like that. You say lucky, I say very brave and talented. Because this is, as I said, the same year as a-ha. So we, 2.2 billion people have watched one version of this online, because it is so incredible. So, audience, decide. Do you want us to chat about it first, or do you want to see it first? Oh, I like that. That was a strong see it. Should we just...
Stop talking. Yeah.
Oh.
See it
Okay,
first.
see it. We've got the loudest to see it, so we're just going to see it. even realise. Yes. We'll rudely talk over the credits that you're not meant to do. Oh, everyone, isn't that just the best? Oh, give us some light for the audience so I can see them. Thank you. I hope they've got tears in their eyes like I have. It's so good. I mean, it doesn't hurt that he's that handsome.
All three of them.
Yeah.
I mean,
So, tell us about the concept of this and how you came to the rotoscoping and the arduous sketching over the live action. Can you talk that through for the audience?
yeah, I was. There was a really good head of. What was it? What was he? Jeff Aroff. He was head of marketing, wasn't it? Yeah. And music videos. Yeah. And he was he's a great guy, and he had this given this band to try and do something with, and they'd done a music video for a quite low budget music video with the three of them just playing it, and no TV played it, no radio
As into this
played
song?
the single. This song.
I don't know if you
exactly.
realise that. It was released in a flop.
It was released twice. It flopped twice. They couldn't believe it. They were like, well, and the main thing here was most of the DJs were saying it's Eurotrash. It just doesn't sound quite British or quite something. And they didn't sell a copy. It was really strange. So, but he said, look, and he went to his bosses at Warner's in the States and just said, look, this band are great looking. It's got to be carefully handled how we release them, and we got to get a budget. And so he dragged out of them $100,000 budget, which at the time was one of the highest I'd certainly worked with, and there weren't many of those around. And he said, look, and he came to me, and I'd been nagging him since early Bryan Adams videos that we did together. Said, look, give us enough time. You always want the video 2 weeks after we made it, and give us some months, and let's do some animation. Let's do something conceptual animation-wise. And so he called up and said, look, I've got this one. You can have as long as you like, 4 months, 5 months, whatever. You can have $100,000 to do it. And, you know, but I've also found this guy, Michael Patterson, who's the animation director in it, and Candice. He'd found them at a film school. I think they'd come to him with a little short film they'd done with that style of animation. And he showed it, and I said, it looks amazing. This rotoscope animation, we got to shoot it first, and then, you know, pencil draw each frame. And I said, that's amazing technology anyway, even though it's been around since the early animation. First animation films in 1910, 1915 were actual rotoscope. That's how they did it. And it was just a return to the past in a lot of ways, and it's a lovely, lovely look. And so then I sat in New York for maybe I was shooting a Toto video and in New York, and
It's a great one.
And it just was really puzzling with the concept. I said, I've got animation, I've got a good budget. What can I do with these three guys, and how can we save them up and reveal them? And reveal how they're real, you know, they're real and handsome. And they said, and then just a thought came to me, and sometimes I'd stare at the wall for days and nothing would happen. But a thought came to me, an image came, which was this hand reaching out of the comic book, and an animated hand out of the comic book, and I thought, and I got tingles, I got goosebumps, and I thought, this is the concept. It's a comic book. And it's a comic book coming alive, and it's a girl and a guy, and that sort of thing. And I got immediately the amount of goosebumps, which didn't happen very often, meant that it was a good. I just knew we were onto a good concept. We just had to get the right pieces to put together, and you know, the rest of it is what it is. And you know, he gave us the time to do it properly, and that was amazing for Jeff Aroff to fight for this. Nobody else was in that position, or I hadn't heard of any other stories like that. And after that video, record companies changed their attitude. It was like, how obvious can it be that a video can make a difference? And
I mean, it really can. I thought about this when I was preparing this, and I, as someone that produces content and films myself, I didn't want to be negative. But when you go home tonight, Google original Aha Take On Me video. It is terrible. It doesn't matter how good looking they are. It's really bad. And it really shows how the concept of a video and the music came together on this one to make something so special that has really stood the test of time. And in the book, it talks a lot more about this and a bit of romance between the lead characters and how hard it was to direct them. And there's lots of the storyboards and sketches in the book as well. So I really, we won't have time to talk about it all because I'm conscious everyone will, eventually want to go home. But there's two more things I want to talk about for this video, because I always feel that parody and imitation is it really is the greatest flattery you can have to your work, I think. And I don't know if anyone has seen, you all know Family Guy, the comedy. Have you seen the Aha one? It feels like you need to see this then. You need to see this.
Chris, would you run and get some milk? And be sure to take it from the back. Chris, where have you been?
I don't know.
So, I'm sorry, we're like 2.2 billion views, all big on Family Guy. I mean,
Family Guy wins that any day.
yeah. There's one more as well. Have you seen the one where it's the say what you see for this video? You have. Oh, it's you can look at this one when you get home. It is really funny. Someone is singing the song, but just explaining what's happening. Like, here's a hand. It's very good. But for the interest of time, please Google that because it's funny. The last area I want to talk about, because you've obviously done so many things, but I'd like to touch upon David Bowie, which led you to work with Jim Henson, and just so many wonderful things. But it'd be great to talk a little bit about Underground and your work with David and how that led on to many wonderful things with Jim Henson.
Yeah, really special man, Jim Henson, amazing. I'm so glad to have met him and worked with him. And it was they came after he directed Labyrinth. They were looking for a video director, and Bowie was in Labyrinth and did a few songs, and I was able to do those videos and get to know. I mean, the Bowie side of it was fab, but there were songs for the film, and it wasn't really pure Bowie. It wasn't really coming from it. It was coming from Labyrinth, which was a great experience. But sitting down with Jim Henson, and he came along. He'd seen the Aha video, and he came along while I was editing another Aha video, which was all about silhouettes and things. And he said, "Look, I've got this series I want to do called The Storyteller, and it's something that NBC in the States are going to do, and Channel 4 in the UK. And would you come and would you be interested in doing it?" And having done those videos and worked with the creatures, had a taste of working with the creatures and latex, and just of course I jumped at it, and it turned into an amazing series to do with Jim, and then I asked him. My next thing the following year was I'd been given this comic book, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I asked him if he would do the creatures for Ninja Turtles, and even though it was not the sort of thing that he would do, it was quite violent with nunchucks. So he believed that I'd put it in the right spirit, and so he decided to go ahead with it, and that was a massive reason for the success of Ninja Turtles, was because Jim Henson said, "I'll do it."
And we are going to show that film at Theatreship at some point. But if you can't wait for us, Steve will be talking at the Prince Charles about that one, the Prince Charles Cinema at some point.
Yeah, January, I think. Yeah.
But you can see it here too, just saying. But no, and I know I sound like I'm fangirling, but when I was a kid in the 80s, The Storyteller was just one of the best series ever. If you've never seen an episode, I heard a yeah. It is so good, and I still remember lots of it word for word. It's like fairy tales come to life with these, you know, wonderful puppetry. It's incredible. But we will we'll end by showing David Bowie, and then there is time for questions. Also, while we're milling in the bar, requests for music videos to go on the screen. Obviously, ones by Steve, please. I've got a few in my sleeve. I really want you to see Bananarama, but I also want those that need to leave to leave. But the last one we'll watch together is with David Bowie and Underground. Incredible.
Thanks so much.
Oh, I've got tears in my eyes for that one. You all know Labyrinth, right, and how wonderful that film is. And I just have to say, I know I'm like sound like a kiss ass now, but so many music videos when they're related to a film just show a few clips of the film, or they don't really relate. And I know that film really well, and I love it. And that is just such an amazing music video that nods to elements of the film, but is a completely different film in its own right that you've made there. It's just so incredible.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, they are. That is hard. Movies, music videos for movies are difficult, are tricky, and that worked. It was a learning curve for me with animatronics and stuff that led on to lots of, as I said before, lots of amazing things. So
love it. Well, in case people need to leave, I want everyone now, if they feel the same, to give a massive round of applause to Steve. Just bloody incredible. And
Nat. What about Nat?
Thank you. And Danny, thank you so much for joining us. He's an amazing director in his own right, and just came for the lols. And I forgot to get you your beer at the interval earlier. And Valentin, thank you so much. So we're going to stick around, show some music videos. You can ask questions in here, or we can all go into the bar, and then Steve will be sat at the table signing books. So anyone that has any pressing questions can ask there as well. So don't feel it's ended if you want to see some more, basically. But for those that want wine, we can have it. So thank you very much.